Hello, everyone. Today, I will share with you several stories about celestial eye, clairvoyance, precognition, and retrocognition. Xiaohong is now in her middle age. She recalls when she was young, around 7 or 8 years old, playing Chinese jump rope with her friends one day. When it wasn't her turn to jump, she leaned against a nearby wall and daydreamed. In a trance, she saw a young woman emerge from a nearby alley with a little boy. The woman threw something into a roadside trash bin and then beckoned the boy to walk past her. When Xiaohong snapped out of her daze, she was unsure whether what she witnessed was a dream or a real event. As she was still bewildered, to her astonishment, the same woman and boy walked out of the alley, reenacting the exact scene she had just witnessed. She was left dumbfounded. Subsequently, similar occurrences happened a few more times, but not as lengthy as the first instance, and the intervals between seeing and real events grew longer. Often, she would recall afterward, "Oh, I've seen the same scene before." As Xiaohong grew up, she began practicing Falun Gong. She understood that her precognition and retrocognition ability was already active when she was young, albeit weakly, with short durations, sporadic occurrences, and beyond her control. The function of precognition and retrocognition is the ability to foresee the future and see the past. People who can tell fortunes must possess the ability of precognition and retrocognition. Another story about celestial eye. When Zhanghua was young, she suffered from bronchiectasis, often coughing up blood and physically weak. She dropped out of university without graduating. She frequently felt inexplicably afraid of the dark and of being alone. After marriage, her husband couldn't travel out of town for work because she dared not sleep alone at night. Feeling an unexplained fear whenever she closed her eyes. She consulted many doctors, but there was no effective treatment. During the Qigong craze in the 1970s and 80s, Zhanghua's husband accompanied her to various Qigong practices in hopes of a cure, but her condition persisted. One day, a neighbor told her about a Falun Gong practice site in a nearby park. The next day, her husband and she went to learn the practice at the exercise site. She felt a lightness in her body that she had never experienced before. Upon returning home, her astonished husband noticed that their home environment became exceptionally clean. Zhanghua's husband had celestial eye since childhood. Prior to this, he often saw various life forms in their home, another dimension, such as white hedgehogs, white foxes, and more, but he never told his wife for fear of exacerbating her fears. After returning from the Falun Gong exercise site, he found that the environment in their home's other dimension became clean and refreshing, with all the clutter disappearing. From then on, Zhanghua's husband also began practicing Falun Dafa. After practicing, Zhanghua's health quickly recovered. She was no longer afraid of the dark or of being alone. Ellie's clairvoyance. Ellie, a practitioner of Falun Dafa in the West, has been practicing for 3 years now. Initially skeptical of the clairvoyance described in the teachings, she thought such abilities were unlikely to exist. Living in London, one day while practicing at home, during the second exercise, she unintentionally saw her brother. Her brother's family lived in New York. She saw the outline of the room and her nephew sitting in front of a computer. However, her sister-in-law did not appear in the picture. She saw her brother walk to the table and pick up the phone. She realized that her brother was calling her. At that moment, she felt as though her vision had traversed a time tunnel at an extremely fast speed. She stopped practicing and hurried to the phone, but the phone remained silent. Ellie felt foolish for believing in an illusion. But before she could turn around, the phone rang. It was her brother calling. She confirmed with her brother all the details she had seen, and they were all true. Experiencing clairvoyance for the first time left Ellie tremendously excited, and her joyful emotions lingered for a long time. All right, it's almost time. Let's finish here for today. See you next time.